Now we're live. All right.
Oh man.
Now I gotta retweet some of this biz.
Yeah. Oh, right. That's the wrong button.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you. Whew.
I'm just gonna retweet you. Because really, if someone's following me on Twitter and blocking my retweets, they really aren't following me.
It's true. Oh man. Okay. All right. My phone is on silent. My Vita's charging. Way I can keep working towards these Dragon's Crown
There you go.
trophies.
All right, I guess I can post
I
this.
have. Nowadays I really don't get obsessive about trophies in games, but I have to get all of the Dragon's Crown ones. I have no idea why.
Man, I need to get back to that game.
And those trophies are hardcore.
I need to get a freaking copy of that for Vita. Did I get a copy of that for Vita? Where's my Vita?
Vita.
Let's see. Because I don't know either.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it on Vita. I really wish they it wouldn't have the frame rate issues. But it's still okay because I can play it while laying down in bed. Yay!
Oh man. I love that game. I haven't finished my post yet. Yes, I have. There.
Okay. Hello to everyone watching the stream.
Welcome.
Hola and mahalo. Crap. What was I gonna go look up on the internet? I don't remember. Cat pictures, maybe?
Probably.
Usually.
Unless you're looking for cat pictures or Doctor Who memes, you're in trouble.
Do love me some Doctor Who, though. Okay. Are we ready to get this thing started?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. I can research this Dragon Crown thingy later. I forgot my new password.
Oh, yeah, I got my PSN password reset yesterday.
It did it to me twice. Someone really wants those goods that I don't have.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Alright, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Picking Up the Pixels. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me is my stalwart companions, as always, Musum.
Hello.
And Mina.
Hi.
So let's get right into it with Musum. What have you been playing?
Okay, so I played 3 games a tiny bit, and 1 game consumed my life.
Okay.
Like starting off, I finished off the Borderlands 2 loot hunt, which I got to tell you, that last week was like pulling teeth. I totally did not want to play any more Borderlands 2.
You
at
had
that
had
point.
your fill.
Yeah, like it was too much. I was literally just getting in, warping to the point, getting annoyed if the boss wasn't immediately at the transport, killing it and getting out. So I'm probably gonna take a break from that game for a couple months. But that game's still really good, and I still want to go through the game with all the characters in all the ways. So
Yeah.
that's a good sign. I don't know how they're ever going to do Borderlands 3 because I feel like they could just keep adding on to Borderlands 2.
Yeah. More planets, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, yeah. More planets, more classes, but I'm not ready to say goodbye to these classes. But
Yeah, I would kind of like it if they would keep these classes and then just add maybe some more. These ones seem fine.
yeah. But I felt that way about the first one too. And the Borderlands 2 classes are great. So what do I know?
Maybe they'll just mash them together. 2
Yeah.
types of sirens.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or do it like 20 years later and oh, little did you know Lilith was pregnant with what's his name's child.
Oh
and
yeah.
Now you're playing their daughter or something.
Borderlands 2, the college years.
Anyway, and then I got caught up in like for one of the Kickstarter rewards on the Obsidian. I think it's the Obsidian project.
Oh yeah.
Aveline is playing through Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscura.
Oh yeah.
And I thought, I will play that too. And downloaded it and started it and applied the patch. And that game is really, really old.
Whoops.
It's a really cool setting. Like, if you guys don't know anything about it, it's the concept of let's take typical D&D Tolkien-esque fantasy and put it into kind of Civil War era technology.
Oh, weird.
So there are trains, there are guns, there are Zeppelins? Is that the word for a big blimp thing?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Dirigibles.
Yes. And the game starts out with a crashed Zeppelin, and you wake up and you have amnesia, and you know that trope.
The old crash Zeppelin trope.
Yeah. Who could you be? The problem is I probably spent more time researching what to put my points into for my character than I did actually playing the game.
That's always what gets me. Is like, oh crap, it's a D&D character screen. Hold on. I gotta quit this. I gotta hit, probably something awful and get this, this started guide.
Well, and so many of the skills, you have no idea what context they might come in useful for later. It's it's a trope that I like, but don't necessarily have the time for. Especially when the controls for the game are every bit as esoteric as figuring that out. So I didn't get anywhere. Like, I literally just wandered around the opening screen with some guy who said I was like the chosen one or something like that. He seemed actually really crazy. It was written very comically.
Okay.
But he was still going to be my monk sidekick, and we kept getting attacked by wolves and eventually died because I could not figure out the combat. Yeah.
Is it one of those old school RPGs that probably would have come like with a 200-page instruction manual in the box?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because like there's some way, like my guy had, it was like, how Diablo, I don't know if Diablo 3 has it, but Diablo 2 had the switch weapon layout things. It had kind of that with a weapon in your right hand and left hand, and I had a knife and a gun, and could not figure out how to switch because I only had like 48 bullets, and he kept shooting things, and I'm like, stop it!
just get to stabbing those wolves. Come on.
I don't know if this game's gonna give me any more bullets, so could not find the quest log in it. Was just totally lost. So if you attempt that game, it's cheap on GOG. Get a notepad.
Read the instruction manual that comes with it.
Yeah, I will try again someday, but not today. When I got the PS4, some of you may have seen online, I got one of the blinking blue lights of death.
Great.
Did you really? Oh.
Yeah.
I think I find it really funny that I'm gonna go out of my way. I'm gonna really treat myself with a brand new console. It's dead.
Yeah, yeah. And in Sony's, they did do a really quick turnaround. Obviously, I couldn't get through Friday night on the phone to him. Like Saturday, after 2 hours of being in wait, I did get through on the phone. The guy I got was super nice.
Oh, good.
And because I tweeted that he was nice, I got mentioned in a Kotaku article.
I saw that. Congratulations, by the way.
Yay! All I had to do was get a broken PS4.
And now you're internet famous.
But like literally, it was like by Tuesday after release, they had gotten me the box, and by the following Monday, I had gotten my new PS4.
Oh, that's not too bad.
So the turnaround was real quick, but they didn't give me anything extra. So
yeah.
In my depression, in my fit of depression, I went and got myself a new PS Vita.
Oh, nice.
And so obviously, the first thing I did was buy Persona 4 digitally for $20 on that sale, and started playing that again. And luckily, my save game was up on the cloud.
Yes.
And was basically where I left off. So.
Oh man, that's so nice. Because if I remember correctly, a couple months ago when your PS4 got stolen/lost, your copy of Golden was in it, right?
Yeah.
Insult to injury.
Yeah, it was the special edition of the Golden that had the case on it, and
oh man.
Like, I still have...
Nice little case.
I have half my case, the yellow one, but
But not
I
the
can't.
the cool skin that Mina has.
Oh, yeah, I was talking about the black plastic flap thing that goes on the front.
Oh,
Oh,
that
right.
thing. Right.
I actually liked that quite a bit, but
Hmm.
oh well. Someday, maybe when I'm rich, I will pay the absurd price of $120 for it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's how much it's going on eBay for.
Man.
Um, but then I discovered my new crack addiction in the free-to-play world. It's a game called Warframe.
Oh yeah.
If you're following me on anything, I've not shut up about it. Warframe is a third-person action RPG. Um, it kind of takes elements of, gosh, what would it be most like? Like it's a little bit of Diablo or Borderlands 2. It's a little bit. It's like a tiny bit of Vanquish. Um,
That's
gosh,
what it seemed
it's-
like to me a lot. Like it was like an action RPG Vanquish.
Yeah, it's Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. Maybe would be the
Oh,
best
okay.
comparison. Um,
And we all know
Except-
how much you love that.
yeah, exactly. So it had me. And this game, it's kind of hard to get into because they start you off and they're like, you're the Tenno, and everyone wants to steal you because you're this weird alien cyborg ninja, which is awesome.
Okay.
But then you go through and it trains you, how to use one of your powers, and it trains you kind of some of the combat, and then it turns you loose. And the problem is that is maybe half the game at most.
Okay.
Like most of the game revolves around this crafting system. A lot of RPG veterans, I think, will kind of recognize the stuff in the free to play tropes in this are really just you skipping the crafting system.
Oh, so it's basically like, you need 10 more iridium crystals to be able to build this new sword. You can buy it if you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I recommend it has 3 starting classes, none of which are super great. The mag is probably my favorite out of the 3. Like it starts you out really the game's more about the classes in it, which they call frames. The 3 starting frames are Mag, Loki, and Excalibur. The Excalibur, maybe some more veteran player can write in and tell me how they are supposed to be played, because I chose an Excalibur on the PS4, and I think it is a terrible class. It is that game's about shooting and occasionally melee, and they have certain classes that have souped up shields, like tank style classes, like the Rhino, where you can put on this shield thing and go melee everyone. The Excalibur is a melee class without the shields.
Oh, weird.
Oh.
So you're just kind of on a suicide run, and this game just dumps enemies on you. So I don't know how you can possibly survive well with an Excalibur. The mag would be the one I'd recommend for starting, because you get this awesome power called Pull that pulls all the characters within your power range over to one side of the room for you, and they take damage. And at the beginning of the game, it literally just kills everyone.
Oh, wow.
It's not a super balanced game. It's a game, full disclosure, it's a free-to-play game I've paid around, I think, $40 for at this point. They have 2 currencies in it. Platinum is the non-renewable one. They do not explain that to you at the start.
Of course.
But everything in the game you can eventually find a blueprint for and make.
Oh, okay.
It's just a matter of getting the resources and things to do it. At first, I thought some of the more cosmetic things were things you couldn't find, but recently, this last week, I found a couple. A lot of the more obscure resources, you'll have to wait for an alert, which is like every hour or so, they'll do a new alert mission that you'll have X amount of minutes to do in a different solar system. But this game is available for PS4 and PC. Me and Justin from the Tiltcast have started clans on both, if anyone wants to join.
Nice.
The one on PS4 is the Tiltacell. Yeah, you see what we did
That's
there?
pretty good.
The one on PC, I didn't know he was going to wind up playing with me. So the one on PC I started and called it the Carouselians.
Oh,
So-
that's pretty good.
We would love to accept new members. The cool thing about a clan is you get a dojo. And your
Ooh.
dojo is this big customizable home base that you can add like research places to get equipment that you can only get through a dojo. Particularly a sentinel, which is like a little flying buddy that goes next to you. And I really want the freaking sentinel you get from it. So I need your stuff. Join my clan.
Join the cause.
But this game is entirely like four-person co-op. It's a lot of fun. On PC, playing with strangers, it might be a little bit better than PS4 because the strangers don't really talk to you. They can only text at you, and it's usually too frantic for them to text at you.
Yeah.
The PS4 version, I should mention, is really, really good. I think Justin and I wound up doing the PC over PS4 because we spent like an hour trying to get the PS4 version to let us play a game together, and it would not.
Oh, weird.
We were blaming it on the game at first since the PC version works so quickly, but I think what it was is I went into my router settings later and found a setting that said it was set to secured NAT, and
right.
yeah,
Gotta
I
open
changed
that
that
NAT
to
right on up.
yep, I changed that to open, and it worked perfectly. So I'm willing to bet that was the entire source of our troubles, but I'm still willing to play.
I hate
play
that
on
it's
PS4.
2013, almost 2014, and we still have to deal with these issues, even on new consoles. It's like, can't you just get around this somehow?
Yeah, seriously. Like,
And I'm a
I'd
dude
never,
who does IT for a living, and I just really don't want to deal with it.
I'd never heard of NAT until my Xbox 360.
Yeah, that's when it really started becoming an issue.
Like, well, and I don't. Does any other piece of software besides games care about that?
Enterprise networks, but it's sort of funny. It's either enterprise networks for a large company or your video game console.
Wow. But yeah, so Warframe's pretty great. I guess some starting advice. It's going to give you 50 platinum no matter where you start. What I advise is playing the game like a couple days before you spend your platinum on anything. Because your instinct is going to be to buy a new frame or a new gun or something like that. And all of those things are really expensive platinum-wise. And with the 50 platinum, you can do things like buying more slots for... like the game, when you start out, you only have 2 slots for frames for your classes. And right now I have like 5 classes in my character, so you have to pay like an extra 5 or 10 platinum or something for each slot. So that's something you'll want to invest in, especially if you're going to go the crafting route. The other thing is your inventory, where you keep all your weapons and stuff, costs, like you only start out with 4 slots for that. And right now I have like 10 or 12 weapons. And it's something like 12 platinum for 3 or 4 weapon slots or something like that. So it's not heinous, but I would kind of have the expectation that eventually you're going to spend $20 on it. And when you're going to spend $20 is like every day they give you an award for logging in. And randomly they will give you a 50% off of everything in our store reward. And that is when you want to go in and you can get 1,000 platinum. Then you can buy whatever Warframe you want. You can buy yourself a bunch of slots, buy yourself some Forma, which Forma is essentially you equip in your frame to let you prestige.
Okay.
You max out at 30, you equip a Forma, and then it goes back down to level 0, and you get whatever.
Oh, okay.
But that's kind of my starting advice. I'm entirely willing to go through any of the entry levels with anyone because like each different planet gives you a different set of resources, and you always need all of those resources for all the blueprints.
So if someone wants to find you in the Warframe network, how do they do so?
You can just go to add player. There's a little 3-person head thingy on the right of the screen on either PlayStation or PC. On PC, I am just Musum. Or wait, maybe I got that backwards. I did get that backwards. On PC, I'm John Musum. On PS4, I'm Musum.
There you go.
Your PS4 name is the exact same as your code name on PS4.
Oh, your PSN ID or whatever.
Yeah. They are not cross-play platforms like I originally hoped.
Oh,
The PS4 version is one version behind, which is kind of lame because version 11 adds some really nice upgrades to it, especially in the half-assed tutorial department.
Whoops.
But it is free to play. I've had a lot of fun with it. If you're an action game guy, then it's going to come across as very free to play. If you're an RPG person who's experienced a lot of crafting systems, I think it'll be easy to see through.
You'll be right at home.
Yeah. I mean, it still has a lot of stuff up front, but it's not like the only thing. Like you can play the game as much as you want, but you only get 4 revives. But that doesn't mean you have to stop playing. That just means during a mission, if you die and you've already revived 4 times, then you're gonna have to start the mission over.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not a horrible thing.
It seems fair.
And really, if you're reviving in a mission, you're probably hoping someone else is going to show up in your game and save your butt. So, anyway, so that's all I've been playing.
Oh, all right. Mina, what have you been playing this last month?
So I don't remember the order that I played them in. But I did play Diablo 3 for a little bit, my first time.
Yes.
And I decided I would just try like all the different classes real quick. I came to find out I really don't like Monk.
Okay.
We're like right off the bat, I don't like how that plays at all. And
it's very weird.
It's really weird because you have to build up kind of like a rage bar, kind of, I guess. I can't think of a good example right now.
You sort of have to get like into. It's almost like a rogue in WoW, I guess.
Yeah.
Where you sort of have to get built up to a point so you can do something else.
Yeah, and I just want to have all my mana or all my abilities like right from the start. I don't want to have to build up to it. So I tried the wizard, the mage. I don't know what it's called. I don't know. I did that one. That was a lot of fun. And then I did Demon Hunter, and I was like, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I tried the Witch Doctor, and I said, okay, this is the one that I like the most.
Oh, really? I've never played a Witch Doctor.
It's crazy. So, since you've never played it, my auto attack thing is like this poison dart business, which is really sweet because it does poison damage. And I just love watching the health just tick away, even though I'm not fighting something.
You're off laughing maniacally.
Yeah, and then you can set off your, like, dogs, like, 3 little undead dog critters.
What?
Well, then I got the ability that changed my poison darts to throwing pots that disperse spiders.
Oh, gee. That's like my worst nightmare.
It was like, I was just tossing pots that was scattering spiders everywhere.
Sonoma
so
ABG, I think that's how you say it. In chat says, Mina threw spiders at me.
I did. I was throwing pots of spiders everywhere, and it was just so much fun. So, the reason why I didn't buy Diablo 3 right out the gate was just the complete utter chaos that was all my friends just bad talking that game. And I was just like, I didn't want to be a part of it. I didn't want to. I did the same thing with Mass Effect 3. I still haven't bought it because there was just so much of that horrible backlash on these games, and I was just like, I'll come back to you later when nobody cares anymore. And I'm having fun with Diablo 3, so I don't,
Which what platform are you playing it
on? The PC.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but
PC version's great.
The loot thing will come out eventually, right?
Yep.
So there's that. I just wanted to kind of just kill things and shut my brain off.
That's sort of the reason why I love Diablo 3 is you can just kind of hack and or slash and not have to worry about figuring out some sort of puzzle or doing. It's just sort of like, look, I'm tired and I just want to play something and listen to a podcast at the same time or watch a movie at the same time.
Right. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I play it with a friend or two, so that makes it better.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of Borderlands 2. I did not do it during the loot hunt. I started the day after the loot hunt.
You and me both.
I don't understand why I did this. Like, there was a loot hunt going on, everybody was doing it, and I could have done it with everybody else, but I just kind of like, nah, I'm good. And then it ends, and I'm like, I kind of want to play Borderlands 2 right now, and everybody's so done with that. So, I did that for a little bit, leveled my Necromancer.
What level's your Necromancer?
It's like 36, 37.
I started the Necromancer and I kind of liked playing as her, but I never really kept up. I think it was like level 15, and I never really kept up with it.
It's you have to definitely go towards working on your death death trap or I don't know what
Well,
it's
I always say the wrong one. Death
right. And
clap. I
the
don't know.
once the ability, I think death clap is the ability where it just like does the electric bolt thing.
Yeah,
But you really go towards building that creature up because he
death.
just
Someone in chat
starts.
says death trap. That's right. Death
Yeah.
trap does death clap. I always get the two switched up.
Yeah. And he just kind of flies around and just destroys everything while you just, shoot around. And then you do the anarchy stacks, which
Yeah.
basically the problem is if you're used to every other class, you are always reloading.
hmm
So when you play Necromancer, you have to take that out of your head and just be like, never reload ever
Yeah, I
again,
can never do that forever while I'm playing this character.
And the thing is you also want to go towards making sure you get that thing that makes it so that way if you miss a target, you're going to hit the enemy.
Yeah, that ricocheting thing.
You have to do that because if you do Anarchy, your accuracy goes down while your damage goes up.
Right.
So those go kind of hand in hand. So yeah, and you just become crazy. And like sometimes I'm just shooting like directly at the ground because I can't see anything. I'm killing stuff. I'm just like I'm gonna just shoot at this wall over here. There's nothing over here, but I'm just killing.
My friend Scott from the carousel really liked his Necromancer, and I think his favorite ability to do was, I guess on one of the trees you get an ability where if you reload, it does a giant electrical explosion everywhere.
Oh wow.
And so he would literally just run into a crowd of guys and do that and kill everything.
Jeez.
And especially since she's got like a talent that makes her bullets, her cartridge go smaller. So
Oh yeah.
that would
Yeah.
that would definitely boost that explosion.
Oh
But-
man. I should get back to playing that.
So that was Borderlands 2. I actually did beat a game, and it's not really an RPG, but Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies.
Oh, I need to start that.
Oh my gosh! So I have a real problem with Phoenix Wright games, and the problem is that sometimes they tell you who the villain is way too fast,
Mhm.
and I really hate that. Like
Yeah.
they show it in the intro sequence. I accept it when it's like the first one.
Like the
the first
tutorial case.
Yeah, because that's a tutorial case. They
Yeah.
they practically hand that to you. They want you to be like, okay, figure out this is how you present evidence. This is how question.
It's this guy whose name is Shifty Badface.
Oh yeah,
You know,
like it's like without a doubt, and especially the first case in this one, it's like this guy couldn't look more guilty,
yeah.
more evil, more terrible if he tried. Like he's got the crazy eyes, he's got like the big, huge, creepy smile,
Yeah, he's sweating a lot.
and he's like slamming a bomb up and down on the
That's
stand. Like
pretty
if you don't
straightforward.
get that, and since the case was about a bombing, it's just like I'm just
probably
saying.
that guy. Going out on a limb.
If he had a sign that said I did it, we would have been more clear. So I really like that game, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody out there. But the first case, it is what it is. Tutorial. The second case, it was good. Did not care for something about it. By the last case, I was so happy with this game. I was so happy that nobody spoiled anything for me. I was like, awesome.
Oh,
I'm
man.
I'm putting this game down and I'm having a blast. There is a DLC that I haven't grabbed yet. Someone said it's like $5 or something, and you
Yeah.
defend a killer whale or
Yeah, you
something.
do.
And I haven't looked at it. I haven't played it. But I think I will be getting it because
I-
defending a killer whale sounds kind of.
I haven't even started this game yet, and I already bought the DLC because there was one screenshot of the killer whale and his or her handler, and I have to play that. Even if I don't play it, please take my $5 because I encourage this sort of stupidity. I'm really excited to play this game because I crapped out again on playing Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. I just can't
Oh,
make it through that
no.
last case, so I need to find someone's playthrough of it on YouTube or something and just watch that and just then
I'll
move
play
to.
it.
There you go.
The thing with Apollo Justice, a lot of people who love the first three Phoenix Wright games is they go to Apollo Justice and they really do not like him.
Yeah, I really don't.
Yeah, and I was okay with it. I managed to just slug through it, and I was just like, he's obviously not as near as good as Phoenix Wright, and I
Yeah.
didn't really care for the prosecutor because he's not really that. He's not really a good antagonist.
Yeah, he's
So,
really not as exciting as any of the prosecutors in the first three games.
I mean, you got someone with a taser, with a whip, somebody slamming the desk every few seconds with the pointing, and it's
Yeah.
just like this guy is just kind of like, I'm a chill dude, and
You never really hate Gavin.
you don't. You actually kind of like him because he's
He's not a
not,
bad guy.
and I think that kind of ruins it a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, when I play Dual Destinies, and what a lot of people have said when playing Dual Destiny is that they actually really like Apollo Justice now. Like
Oh,
he
interesting.
grows as a character to them from just basically being this typical tropey male anime guy
Hmm.
into a real character. So,
Man,
um,
I need to start playing that.
oh yeah, it's really good. Um, let's see. The next game that I played, and a lot of people loved watching this, was Dark Souls.
Oh, it's so good.
So I'm going completely blind. Um, if even someone has told me how to beat something or how to do something in the past, I do not remember it, and I do not remember any of the secrets or do this, do that sort of business because I'm just looking at this game and I'm just like, I am so lost and I don't know what I'm
I'm
doing.
so lost and so dead.
Yeah, so I definitely started as a thief because I was like, that sounds pretty cool. I don't know anything about this game, so I'm just gonna pick thief. Um, and the fun thing about streaming this game is not just because I'm entertained and people are laughing at me and enjoying it. It's also because everybody in there is so determined to just not let me know anything. So if someone gives me advice, like they're like, "Bina, do this," I swear there will be like 5 or 6 people jumping all over this person, like, "No, just
Don't
let her
tell her
figure it out.
anything.
Let her
Wow.
figure it out. Let her figure it out." And so
Like
like
half the point of the game is to talk to people and find out what the heck the game is doing.
and so like I like at the very beginning when you're supposed to go, I guess, towards wherever the undead parish or something like that is called. I don't remember what it's
Undead Berg or something like that.
Berg, yeah.
Some weird
Sure.
name.
Yeah,
those are
so like,
places.
I was
Yeah.
supposed to go that way, but I was so determined to go down this route
Oh
to
no.
like attack these 2 skeletons that were just they
Yeah,
were
no.
they were just
They're just
wailing
decimating
at
you.
yeah, but I
Like-
wouldn't give up.
You were listening to Dark Souls saying, "You can't go here yet. Go the other way."
So what weapon are you using?
So I did end up going towards this merchant, and after like looking it around at what he had, someone's like, "Kill the merchant."
What?
I kill the merchant, and they're like, "Yeah, kill the merchant." And I was like, "But what if I need something that he has?" They're like, "No, it's cool, kill him." I was like, "Should I buy anything off him before I kill him?" And they're like, "No, it's cool, you can get it later."
I think this is when I started watching, and I was like, "What are they telling you?"
I killed the merchant, and I got that katana, right?
Oh yeah.
So that was pretty sweet. The only thing is like I didn't get any sort of repair stuff or any repair that thing you take back to your campfire for the repair ability.
And you
Yeah.
probably didn't get the yellow sphere or coal thing that lets you talk to people. Yeah.
So like well no, it automatically drops that too. It drops that and a key
Okay.
and a katana. So it automatically drops those 3 things. But like I didn't get any repair stuff, and this is why I bring this up is because as I was going through, at a certain point, before you fight that wild hog-looking creature that charges at you and
Yeah.
you have to backstrike it, like right around there is when my katana was like, I'm about to break.
Oh
And
no.
I was like, what? I don't have any other weapons because I kind of enjoy this thing. And I was like, what am I gonna do? So now I'm just like running around with like really bad weapons, thinking I really should have probably purchased some of those repair stuff despite everybody telling me not to.
They have led
Oh,
you astray yet again.
It's gonna be a while before you hit another merchant that'll sell that.
uh,
Actually, I think the smithy might be the next thing that sells that.
yeah, there is a smithy supposedly nearby. Someone has let me know that because they're very concerned that I might um, not be able to go any farther with what I have.
Hmm.
So,
Did you get to the bridge after that boss yet?
oh yeah, so I really hate spoiling this, but I will anyways. I go up to the bridge, and there's a little message on the ground, and I run up to this bridge, and everybody in the Twitch chat is like really excited. And I go up to this message, and I touch the message, and it says safe zone or something like that.
Oh no.
So I'm reading that, I'm like, safe zone, and all of a sudden flames erupt all around me. I do not get hit. I was like, oh my gosh, my chat was so upset.
They were just
like,
so excited for you to get burnt to a
"No."
crisp.
They were wanting it to happen so badly, and so
Oh man.
and then they were also very sad because more messages kept leading me to the right way rather than trolling me as they were hoping.
Oh man.
So it was just one thing after another. I got really lucky on dodging stuff. It was still entertaining. I did save that actual video because so many people liked it. One person was like, I've watched this 10 times now. They're like,
Oh
please
man.
don't delete it. And it's like a 4-hour video. I'm like, okay.
Jeez. That's a whole work week.
So I was like, okay. So I've kept that. So that was a lot of fun, and I'm definitely going to play more of it. I'm at the gargoyles, if you know what that is.
Oh yeah.
So
Sort of
that's
like the
where-
make or break part for a lot of people, I hear.
I was stuck
Yeah.
on them for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm sure I've played a lot of other RPGs, but I do not remember anything I did about them, so I'm just going to jump to the latest thing that I've played, which is the Starbound game.
Oh yeah, that's in beta now, right?
It is in beta. It's basically Terraria with space and a lot more.
That sounds okay.
It is really good, even for a beta. I think they need a lot of optimizing that they need to do, because it runs kind of like a dog, especially when you start getting more and more stuff going on your screen.
Yeah.
I'm a real big fan of this game already, and I wish I could buy more 4-packs. Because I bought a 4-pack, and I was like, I kind of want to buy 2 more 4-packs and just like give these to people.
Just
like,
spread the Starbound
can I
love.
buy like a 16-pack or something? Just like cut like a couple of.
Can I get a 200 pack?
I just want to give it to everybody. So I've had a lot of fun with it. They have been really good about updating this game and adding like patches and stuff to it really quickly. So I'm really having a good positive feeling towards this game. Just some of the stuff I've seen in there, because the monsters on each planet are different looking, and they have all kinds of crazy attacks. Like the planet I started on had eagle-looking creatures that were shooting fireballs.
Oh jeez.
And it's just, I don't want to spoil too much.
So
about
you actually get to go to multiple planets?
Oh yeah, so like
Oh,
there's
man.
coordinates and stuff.
I think you just sold me on this game. Do
Like,
you get to do you get your own spaceship that you can expand
Oh,
and
yeah.
build? All right, now
Well,
I have to get
so
it.
like they're going to make it so that way you can expand your spaceship, but currently you can put stuff in your spaceship. But like people were like, we really like our spaceship. Can we make it like expand and bigger and add more stuff to it? And
Yeah,
then
I want to have
devs are
like this massive spaceship.
yeah.
Okay, I have to get this now.
It's really fun, and the first time I actually got the ship to like start going, like I put in fuel, which is you can use coal or unprocessed wood, and Yeah, that's how you fly spaceships, right? So like I put a ton of like wood in there because all I did in my on my planet was like I deforested the entire planet.
Mhm.
There's no trees left. And I just shoved it all into my spaceship and I was like, I'm gonna go to this planet over
Yeah.
here on in my galaxy, right? So I just go off and the the whole thing was so cool. And you can you beam down on your planet, and as long as you're on the surface, you can beam up. Um, and so like I do think that if you're going to play this game, you might want to consult maybe like a smallish guide out there or
Like
something.
a
I'm
getting
sure.
started guide or
Yeah,
something.
kind of like because the game isn't doing like a really great job at explaining how to do everything. It says what to do. It has like a little quest tracker. But it doesn't do a very good job at explaining, do exactly this, hit this key. By the way, if you use your control key and move your mouse around, you can actually make the camera kind of pan around so
Right.
you can see farther. Um, I I don't know. I really like this game and I'm having so much fun with it. And the more they add to it and the more that I see each time I come into a planet, it's just exciting. The best planet I've gone to so far. I dug straight down because I was like, you know what? I'm tired of running around on the surface looking for a cave entrance to see like what's fun and exciting. I kept digging straight down, straight down, straight down. I hit like brick and I was like, this is weird. Why is there brick this
Hmm.
deep in? I've gone through like 7 layers of crust and surface and now I've hit like brick. Um, I keep breaking through the brick and I get to this this section of a cave looking place that has little tiny houses with little street lamps. And I was like looking around like, what?
What's happening?
why, why are there all these little Smurf houses everywhere? So I kept going deeper and deeper and eventually hit like some part of the world that was so cold that my character's temperature started dropping really rapidly
Hmm.
and I had to get away from there because I was too close to whatever cold center of the planet I was in. I was like, I have to come back with warmer clothes.
Oh wow.
Um,
So yeah, I just
so
bought a copy of this game while we were talking about it.
yeah,
So
it's really
you
good.
sold me
How much is it selling for?
15 early access on Steam.
Yeah,
A
Man,
4-pack is 45. So
Yeah.
you save $15.
yeah.
that's cheap.
So like I bought a 4 pack and I gave it to 2 people for their birthday and I handed out another one to someone who was like, this game looks really cool, can I have please? And I was like, here you go.
Since you asked so nicely, yes.
Yes. If you'll play, yes.
Yeah.
So we've already tried using a server. It's really easy opening up a port. It's a lot of fun. And plus once you everybody joins on the same planet as the first if you join a server, you automatically go to what I call basically the first planet. And
Tutorial
from
planet.
there, yeah, it's got basically, it should potentially, the way the developers have it, it should have the resources you have to basically get you to the next one.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I highly advise, just forewarning, if you're going to leave that planet, make sure you have enough fuel for a return trip.
Oh, okay.
Because if you land on a planet that is filled with no trees, no resources, and a surface that will kill you upon landing or whatever, you know, you might want to have a plan B to get out of there. Because then your only other choice is to, because like Terraria, your character does carry over, so you can go visit another server, go to their planet, pick up all that stuff, and then go back to your game, so
Hmm.
without like losing all your stuff. Like it's shared inventory, wherever whatever server you go to. So
So there's a Starbound wiki out there, starbound.gamepedia.com, that looks like it has a really good getting started, and so does the Starbound subreddit. So
yeah, the Reddit is actually really good, and the dev has been poking his head in there an awful lot and responding to the Redditors.
oh nice, it's like the FTL subreddit where
Pretty
one
much.
of the creators was just in there all the time.
It's kind of like that. I don't really frequent Reddit, but it's apparent he's in there all the time apparently.
Nice.
So, there's a lot of feedback coming and going. Thank you, Sono.
Yeah, Sonoma BG in chat says starbounder.org is the unofficial Reddit favorite wiki. So it's nice to see a lot of people putting a ton of info out there, especially now since it's in early access.
Right,
Needs a lot of tutorializing.
right. And I've taken a bunch of fun screenshots of things I've seen in the game. I'll make sure to post it somewhere on the forum.
Okay.
Other than that, that's like I've already played 52, 53, 4, I don't know, hours last time I checked of Starbound.
Oh man.
I don't know when it came out, but I do know I played probably way too much.
Played a lot of it.
Um, so it gets my recommendation, and that's it.
Okay. I have really only played 2 RPGs this month. It's been kind of a busy work month for me. My very first one is kind of an RPG, kind of a roguelike, the Guided Fate Paradox. This is a surprisingly really great game that came out from NIS America that got virtually no marketing. So I'm here to do it for them. I borrowed this game from work, and this is the cover on the stream for everyone, even though my screen is backwards. It's really interesting because it's basically a super hardcore roguelike even in the fact that you know when you move, the enemies move, all that stuff, near permanent death when you die. You know, it's if anyone's played Shiren the Wanderer, it's very, very similar. The great thing about this game, though, is it actually eases you into playing a hardcore roguelike very, very, very well. The story is super dumb, and it's almost entirely skippable. Basically, you win this lottery at a mall, and now you're God. Long story short. But the tutorials are super great. The dungeons are really well designed. They do have the thing where when you die, you get spit back to town and you're level 1. But the thing they do in this one that's actually really nice is any of the bonuses you got to your stats inside that dungeon still apply to your character. So even if you're level 1, your strength is going to be a little bit higher, your hit points, your mana, all that stuff is going to be a little bit higher. So you have a lot better chance once you go into the dungeon a second time. And that, for me, really makes the difference because the problem, and the reason why I didn't play something like Shiren the Wanderer is because I felt like it was a little too punishing, where sometimes you'll go into a room that's just chock full of monsters. The only thing you can do is basically die, and then you're back to level 1 again. So it made it a little bit more... it made death a little bit more palatable, which was nice.
What was this game again?
The Guided Fate Paradox.
Guided Fate Paradox.
It came out for PS3. It had virtually no fanfare about it. I saw it sitting in our game library at work, and I said, well, wait, what is this? Wait, NIS came out with this game. This is interesting. And I looked it up, and a lot of places that had reviewed it, especially like Destructoid, rated it really highly. I think Destructoid gave it a 9 out of 10. Which is pretty much what I would give it as well, even only playing probably about 2 or 3 hours. It's a really, really solid roguelike RPG. It's super hardcore, but the thing that makes it the best is actually easing you and tutorializing you into these games instead of like normal where they just throw you in and say, oh, you died? Well, try not to be so dumb. This game is sort of saying, oh, you died? Well, we're going to throw you a little bit of a bone and then kind of ease you back in there. So it's surprisingly really great. I unfortunately don't have my PS3 hooked up right now because the PS4 and Xbox One had to get into the Entertainment Center first, and then once I hook that back up, I'll probably be playing that. And haven't had a chance to start Kingdom Hearts HD Remix 1.5, whatever combination of words that release is. That looks super great, and I like Kingdom Hearts, so hopefully that turns out pretty great. The only other RPG I've been playing, and I've been playing the crap out of this, is Dragon's Crown. in the last month, with my warrior, I think is what the class is called. I finished normal and hard, and I'm almost done with infernal, which is ridiculous hard.
The warrior's the one with the huge shield thing,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. I picked that one. I was playing as an elf, and I found myself relying on my NPC party members a little bit too much for my first playthrough. So I figured, all right, I'm gonna play the easiest class, and I'm gonna be as self-sufficient as possible, and that has worked out pretty well. And now I'm sort of dabbling in the elf as a secondary class, but I've been playing so much of this game. I finished all of the quests, including all of the quests to beat every boss solo. I have finished the game, I don't know how many times across both difficulties. Can't beat Infernal yet because I'm only level 75, I think.
Only, yeah.
The boss is the last boss on the last difficulty is 95. So that's gonna be fun. The thing that's really great is the pathway through the game is really interesting because, and I don't know how far you are into it, Musum, but basically the very beginning of the game is you unlock the 9 levels in order, and then there's a bunch of bosses in there. And then once you're done with all 9 levels, as part of the story, you open up these alternate paths through each level. So you have an A path and a B path. And then you go through and you beat all the B paths and you get all this stuff, and then you can fight the final boss. So not only do you have a lot of variety there between each of the 9 levels, but what I didn't realize, when you beat the game the first time on any character, you unlock this thing called the Labyrinth of Chaos, and it has 9 floors in it, 9 levels in it, and each level has 3 floors, and each floor has a random number of screens to it. So basically you have this entirely randomized dungeon structure where the very first level starts off at like level 20 for difficulty, and then the very top of it has the like optional boss who's level 100. And it gets progressively more difficult as you go through the game. And what's really great and what I really, really like about it is the entire thing is randomized. Enemies, level placement, bosses, and then starting about 3 floors in, bosses just start showing up randomly in normal areas. And
That sounds awesome.
It's really, really cool, and I sort of wish I'm trying to rope my girlfriend back into playing this with me, because I think that randomization would be really great if you had a bunch of people to play with, because you never really know if you're going to get something at the end of this screen, if you're just going to get a couple enemies or a boss just dropping in on you that you have to fight at that point. And that for me has made the game even more interesting, because now it's not just this really great hack and slash RPG that it's been, but now you have this kind of always changing, always really interesting randomized dungeon that is just kind of fun to go through, and it makes leveling up a lot easier because you have to more aggressively level up in the higher difficulty. Because I don't want to say you're grinding, but you're kind of grinding a little bit, because you have to, for each difficulty you start in, it gets way more difficult at the beginning. So you don't have great loot, you don't have a lot of levels, and your very first boss is going to pretty much beat the crap out of you. So it makes it a lot easier to kind of work your way up into the more difficult difficulties. And I just really like Dragon's Crown. I really didn't think I'd like this game that much, but I've played, in about the last month, I think I've played about 40 hours. And all of that is on the Vita, and basically all of that is laying in bed at the end of the day, staying up way too late, way later than I should be, just tapping on my Vita and killing a bunch of bosses. So, super great. Atlas always has really great digital deals, and I think you can get the PS3 or the Vita version really, really cheap on any of these deals, and I highly recommend it, especially if you have someone to play with. And that's all I've been playing. So let's take a break, and we'll be back with our normal second segment, and we'll talk about some of our favorite RPGs of 2013. Yay!
Yay!
Woo. I need some water. I'll be back in a second.
Okay. I gotta try and save my voice. I'm gonna try and record some dynamic soundtrack after this. Me.
Oh no, really?
Yep. I'm gonna record
I'm
a special episode here for, let me get all this stuff out of the stream here, for best music of the 7th generation. And let me see how many songs I have here. 161 songs.
Oh jeez.
So that's gonna take a while. Actually, I'll have some people in chat watching the stream help me real quick. Let me fire up. People in chat can let me know if they can hear this song. Once I make it loud. Should be able to. I don't know if you can hear it too or not, Mina. Yes, they can hear it. Yeah, thank you. Woo! Alright, sweet. Thank you much.
It. If you mean, is this poster from Sailor Moon? Yes, it is, but it's not Sailor Moon, it's Sailor Venus.
Who's asking that?
One of my friends messaged me.
Oh, I thought it was in chat. I'm like, man, am I not seeing all of chat again? Twitch!
Although, when I'm typing in the chat, it's not showing up, so... I'm broke.
Weird. It seems like, I was talking about this in chat earlier, it seems like chat is really quite broken today with the VGX, I think, is streaming through Twitch later today, so... Actually, some of chat is missing. All right,
yeah.
let me close it out here and open it back up. Let me see if that'll make it happier here. You can just see Audacity or Audition recording some stuff here real quick. Now chat's probably not going to work, I bet.
Well, it
sorry, you were unable to connect to chat. All right.
Yeah. I keep getting that message. So.
Welcome to the chat room. All right. Okay, let's try and pop out chat here. Into the chat room. Okay. Let's get this guy back over here.
We are so lucky that we did not discuss the Atlas announcements on the day that it actually happened, because I had lost my voice and I was in a place.
Especially since Atlas trolled us.
Oh, I was there for like the entire thing, and the entire time I'm listening to the whole thing, I'm just like, this is...
You monsters.
You guys are terrible.
You knew what we wanted. You monsters.
So I'm really glad we did not discuss it.
Yeah, it would have been a much different podcast. Just us crying.
I would have been crying. I'm really looking forward to Persona Q, though.
I
The
am
more I
too.
hear about it, the more I hear about it, it's just like I want this.
I really want all three of them.
I actually do too, but
All right, let me pull up show notes here. All right.
at first I was like, this dancing game is ridiculous, but then I was like, wait a minute, it's gonna have nothing but Persona music in it.
That's why
Never
I thought. I'm
mind.
like, that's okay. I can get down
I'm
for
okay
that.
with that.
Yay, your chat showed up in chat.
Holy smokes.
All
The
right.
first one. I've sent about like 5 messages, and I'm pretty sure nobody read a single word of them.
Stupid Twitch chat always breaking. Hello to bid you farewell. Hopefully now everyone can chat with us.
Here's really hoping. I look at my Steam friends list, and it's got nothing but Starbound, 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 Team Fortress 2, Starbound, Starbound, Starbound. That is a sign that the game is really good.
Sonoma BG in chat says it was number 3 on Steam under Dota 2 and Team Fortress 2, above Call of Duty and Counter-Strike. Wow.
That's crazy.
Whew, sorry about the wait, guys.
Hey, that's alright.
No, I was
That's
wondering
what
if
breaks
you
it
made
for.
the water yourself.
It was also the top. It's also still the top seller over a $10 BioShock Infinite. Wow.
Like I said, I wanted to buy more I actually did buy some copies outside of the 4-pack for people.
Just some one-offs.
Yeah, I was just like, someone was like, man, I really want to play, but I don't have the money right now. I'm like, I'll buy it for you. Here you go.
I got you. Give me a minute. That $10 BioShock Infinite is a great deal.
It is a
the
great
sales, deal. The sale today for VGX is great.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
Go get you some Steam games.
I had a really entertaining Twitter exchange the other day on Steam.
Yeah.
Someone went to that Steam library calculator thing and posted
no.
their value, and then Big Mackey from No Quarters did it. Big Mackey, he hardly plays PC games ever. And then I did it, and like I had me, the person who plays like almost exclusively PC games at this point, had the lowest number. Mackie had the highest number.
Oh, man, now I gotta put this into this site and see how horrific this number is.
Mine looks bad because of Sims and other things.
Oh. I'm at mysteamgauge.com. Let's see what this says. Steam Gauge is working. Please be patient. No. Oh boy.
But what I'm really glad is it doesn't calculate all the games I've bought for people.
Oh.
Because...
Okay, so over the last... How many games do I have to... Okay. Over the last 8 years, you've spent 250.9 hours playing the selection, which includes 404 items, valued at $5,656.48, and requires 1.3 terabytes.
Ooh.
My highest played game is FTL, of course, because it's awesome.
So I had to do it too. Mine says, over the last 5 years, you've spent 1,114 hours, playing this selection, which includes 152 items, is valued at $2,379.58 and requires 679 gigs.
Wow.
Anyone want to take a guess what my most highest played game on Steam is?
I feel like I should know this. It's probably Skyrim.
Like,
Skyrim.
yeah.
I was gonna guess Skyrim.
I was just about to say. I was gonna say like Dragon Age Origins. I was like, no, that's not right. What is? Oh, Skyrim.
Let's say you have about 3 choices at this point.
Skyrim, Morrowind, Oblivion.
I was gonna say Skyrim, Mass Effect, but I guess that wouldn't count because that's on Origin, huh?
Oh, that's true. That's
Or,
your number one on Origin then.
Or Borderlands, whatever the games that I keep talking about every month.
Yeah.
And I'm on like the verge of going back to Skyrim now too.
Oh,
like,
man. Resist.
gotta play something new.
Over the last 2 years, you've spent 1,900 hours playing the selection, which includes 108 items valued at $1,800.
Wow.
Jesus. At least I put in those hours, right?
Yeah.
So what's your top game? I don't even know what to guess, to be honest with you.
It's Sims 3. I have almost.
I love
I have
Sims 3.
400. I have 456 hours, and that is not right.
And that is low.
Wow.
That is because I don't always launch it out of Steam. So
You're
let's-
hiding.
I have to hide that, and that doesn't. My next game following after that, Borderlands 2, isn't even half.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, Skyrim and Borderlands 2 are both at approximately 200 hours for me.
Oh, that's the same thing for me too. They're like tied.
Like Skyrim's 215, Borderlands 2 is 194. Warframe's catching up. Evidently, the last 2 weeks I've spent 95 hours in that game. Oh my god.
That's
Jeez.
awesome.
Although, to be fair, I keep walking away from the computer and leaving it on, so like, a few of those hours are just, yeah.
All right, you guys ready to record our second/last segment?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Oh man, stupid chair getting sore.
To put this in perspective about Terraria and Starbound, I've already surpassed Terraria's hours.
Oh jeez,
That's good.
it's intense. All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about RPG releases for December 2013. Let me open up show notes here again. Final Fantasy VIII just came out on Steam. There are already a bunch of really interesting mods, like restoring original music and everything. I think it's only like $12, $11, something like that. And it has the same sort of cheat thing that they came out with Final Fantasy VII, but basically you can give yourself whatever sort of draw magic you want. So, yay! You should go play Final Fantasy VIII if you haven't, because it's pretty good. Don't listen to the internet. It's a good game.
It is.
Yeah. Rainbow Moon also just came out for Vita on the PlayStation Network. I purchased it and installed it, but haven't yet started. So that seems interesting.
I don't even know what this is.
I've heard about it.
Came out on PS3 a while ago, right? As a download game. Seems like it's a sort of homage to 16-bit RPGs, but without the sprite art style. So
The graphics on it look really nice. It has a
Yeah.
very distinct art style to it, so...
it seems interesting. I like RPGs.
Let me know how you feel about it.
Yeah. And the last game I could find was Sorcery Saga: Curse of the Great Curry God, coming out physically and digitally on Vita.
Wow.
Only know a little bit about this game, but it seems like sort of a dungeon crawler / roguelike about finding ingredients to appease the curry god by making food. So, sounds like kind of the good, dumb type of game that I really like. So I'm curious to see that could either be a sleeper hit of 2013 or be kind of not a great game. So I'm sort of waiting for reviews on that one.
Well,
See tactical
apparently I
grids and
pre-ordered it.
dungeons.
Apparently you pre-ordered it?
Yep, so apparently I'll let you know about this one.
Well, listen in next month. All right, let's move to news stories because nothing else is nearly as exciting as Atlus's announcements a couple weeks ago. Atlus, now known as the internet's super troll. Let's get the most exciting thing out of the way. Persona 5 is coming to Japan sometime late 2014 on the PS3. Yay! Woo! Persona 5! Woo! Seems like from what Atlus is talking about, it seems like it primarily focuses on high school students again, and something about them breaking social boundaries or something. That was the whole ball and chain, iconography they had in their trailer. Other than that, I kind of don't know a lot about this. I don't know if either one of you have seen more about it.
Media blackout. I already started.
Okay, just day one. We're not even. Yeah, so
it's already going to be bought. So
yeah, either if I could pre-order it now, I would.
Well, they used Teddy to promote it, so.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know if that's because of the other games. But weird. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna get it, and it's gonna be really great. So yeah. I got to keep my PS3 around. So there's been a lot more info about the other two games that they announced before Persona 5, of course. They announced Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth. Features chibi versions of the Persona 3 and Persona 4 characters coming together and fighting. It looks like basically it's Etrian Odyssey for
That's
Persona.
That's exactly what it is.
Which
they have the EO team working on that, so...
Yes.
I'm super excited for this, actually.
I'm
all
pumped
for that.
It
looks super great. I think the style of the 3 and 4 characters in there is really neat. I really like the art style, and it looks like the personas are kind of the normal size. They're not a chibi version since there's like 800 of them now. They might as well not go and redraw them. The only hope I have is I really hope, because I haven't seen her yet, that the female main character of Persona 3 is in there. I have not yet seen that she's in there. And Atlus, if she's not in there, I'm going to be really pissed. Because I like her better than the male character.
I do too. That kind of crushes me. But I'm thinking that they won't have her because of how much... I don't know how bad they're breaking canon. They're already breaking canon because if you see the characters, you know they're breaking canon.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But it does look like the EO setup because if you watch any of the battle screens, you'll notice that there are 5 people in the party.
Yep.
So you have either like you have 3 in the front or 3 in the back and 2 in the other spots. The one thing that I haven't figured out is either they were messing with who actually is in position, because you would figure because of the way character classes are in EO that you would have probably like Kanji as a tank in the front, but
right.
I was seeing them all mixed up in weird spots. Like Akihiko, you would perceive to be in the front line, right?
I
because
would think,
he's
yeah.
boxing. He was in the back in one screenshot, and
Weird.
I've seen Mitsuru in both spots. I've seen Ken in the back line.
I guess that sort of makes sense.
I've seen they're all in weird spots. So I don't know if they're gonna I don't know how they're handling that, or if that was
they're
just
gonna do the class system like standard Etrian Odyssey. That'd be interesting.
All I care about is that Koromaru is back in the game.
Yeah.
He's a playable character.
There you go.
You know how I love my dogs in RPGs.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was in a screenshot, Newsom, just so you know.
Yes. Pre-order uncanceled.
Was her name Metis? Was she the one from the Persona 3 edition thing? What's her name? Sister? Was she in any of the screenshots?
I
think Aegis was in there.
Yeah.
Aegis was in there. You had Shinjiro. You had.
Oh yeah, they did have Shinjiro.
I saw him in there. I didn't see any of the. Basically, anybody who was a party member was in a screenshot somewhere.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, I made sure that all of those were in there. I did not see the female MC in any single screenshot.
Boo.
Yeah.
And what would have been
However,
awesome is if they did like a thing where the male keeps changing into the female one throughout the game story,
That'd be
like
great.
Ranma
yeah,
one half style or something.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this. Taking Etrian Odyssey, which is already great, and then smushing Persona in there, it's like peanut butter and chocolate together. I mean, you can't.
yeah,
And then hopefully, if you can map out Tartarus inside this game with the map screen, just yes, I'm just
right?
so excited.
So, is
Uh,
anyone worried about this game coming to the US or not?
I'm not worried about this one.
I'm
No.
not worried. So that's the thing. A lot of people are saying, "Well, they're Sega now. I don't have that worry." Um,
Yeah, I guess they
I
have enough
really,
money.
I,
What
I
was
really think as long as Atlas just continues to do what they always do, which is really good at breaking even or earning money over
Hmm.
whatever development they do, I don't think Sega's gonna mess with them.
Yeah, probably not. The one game I do have a concern about coming over here is the third game they announced, which is Persona 4 Dancing All Night. Atlas and Dingo are making a Persona 4 dancing slash rhythm game, so for the Vita. So that one is probably the one I'm concerned about. I think if anything, it probably comes out digitally.
That would be okay though,
Yeah,
because it's not like we're actually listening to really the dialogue, are we? We're just there for the
we're just
music.
there for the
We could
dancing.
we could get away with
well,
a
I read a
Japanese
little
version.
I read a little bit about the supposed story, and I guess the idea is what's her name? I just forgot her name.
Rise?
Say,
Rise goes back to being an idol,
Yeah, and she
yeah.
has like
and
dance
that's
battles or something.
yeah,
Yeah, that sounds okay.
I'm down with
I'm
that.
okay with that. That seems like a surprisingly pretty okay game. I was a little worried about it until I heard that it was kind of that dance battle game because I thought otherwise it would be too much like a Hatsune Miku game where it was just sort of one character dancing, and it's great because it's Persona music and that's more than okay. But I'm a lot more interested now that it seems like it has some sort of probably really dumb storyline that involves dance battles.
Have you seen who are all the dancers available?
I've seen Rise, Persona 4's MC, and then one other
Kanami.
person.
Kanami is if you were paying attention to like the animation or maybe the manga even, she was the girl who took over Risei's position in the company or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so apparently that Chie
Yes,
and
pre-ordered.
Kanji.
And kanji, of course.
And I feel like there's one other person, but I don't remember.
I'm such a huge fan of Chie that if she is in a game, I will purchase it.
Yeah.
It's probably Yukiko, probably.
I don't think it was
Oh,
Yukiko.
weird.
That's the thing. Like, I'm trying to remember who the other person was.
That
If it
kid
was like,
you tutor in Persona 4.
So, so really quick, I don't know if this wiki is based on any factual evidence,
Okay.
but there is a Megami Tensei wiki out there, and it has Persona Q listed on it,
Mhm.
and it says Theodore is one of the characters in Persona
Yes.
Q.
yes, he is.
And
I was going to bring that up, but I got lost in my train of thought.
oh, no problem.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I guess he's
So-
sort of got to be in there.
To me, if they have Theodore, then they should have female protagonist
They should,
That's true.
but
because he was not an option until her.
Right.
They also have Margaret as well. The three of them though are part of the Velvet Room. They aren't actually in your party members list.
Oh,
Well,
that
and
makes
that's-
sense.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying that gives me
If
a
you
little
give us
nugget. of
one,
hope.
you got to give us
I
the
have
other.
hope.
Yeah, that makes me feel a little
Um,
bit better.
And then the other thing they showed besides those three was basically reaffirming some characters that were going to be announced for that fighting game, Push, Persona 4,
Oh,
I don't even know how to
Ultramax
s-
Super or something like that.
Suplex or something.
Yeah, something.
Suplex Hold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're having they're adding Junpei and Yukari,
Oh, okay.
and it looks like they're adding that character with red hair with the X on his face. His name is Sho or something.
I
And
don't think I know that
one
one.
other character, which Adachi.
Oh, interesting.
So, and there are I'm sure people already know the shadow versions of almost every character. I think like they're adding. I
Oh
don't
yeah, I
remember
saw something like that. Like they were
specific
gonna
one or
add.
two.
Yeah, in the Arc System Works has always had like these shadow versions in all of their fighting games, so that'll be
Mm.
kind of interesting.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So all in all, kind of good announcements after they ended out with Persona 5. I think everyone really warmed up to Q and Dancing All Night, but before then everyone was like, burn the internet to the ground. This is the worst thing that happened.
yeah,
2014, year of Persona.
Yep. There we
there
go.
you go.
Get aside, year of Luigi. Year of Persona coming through.
I'm
Uh,
okay with this.
yeah, I'm okay with this. Year of Atlas. Let's do this. All right, we have a couple other news stories that aren't nearly as exciting because they're not Persona 5. Shadowrun Dragonfall is the renamed Berlin DLC, and that's coming out in January. They're now saying it's a full-length campaign, not some sort of half business before. New soundtrack by the gentleman who scored the Genesis Shadowrun game, Sam Powell. So that soundtrack is white hot. So that's super, super great. New weapons include a sniper rifle, a grenade launcher, and a taser. So, 2 thumbs up on there. Big change coming. Save Anywhere also be added to Dead Man's Switch. 2 thumbs up. Now I'm going to play your game. And $15, or you can buy it in a pack with the original for $25, which, come on, that's a really great price.
Yeah, if you haven't played, the first one, definitely play them both because I mean you're going to be able to transfer your character over and it'd be nice to have that history there.
Yeah, and the first one's really. Everyone is saying the first one's really great. So I mean, if you're interested in it, now's kind of the time to get in. So that should be available sometime during January. I don't think we have a more specific release date quite yet, but seems like it's almost nearly done. So January seems to be our date. Next news story, Destiny now has a release date of September 9th, 2014. The unfortunate side effect of that is that the beta got delayed until summer-ish. So
Lame.
that sort of stinks, but, if you have a PS4, go pre-order Destiny and you'll get into the beta first. So.
And as excited as I am about this game, what makes it extra lame is marketing has been hyping this damn thing for 2 years. Will have been marketing it for 2 years by the time it comes out.
Yeah.
And that's depressing, and I hope no other game does that.
Yeah.
No, right?
Next news story, Mina just added that to the show notes here. Bravely Default sequel was announced, which I don't think has as dumb a name as original. What is the?
I actually didn't add it. It was underneath Destiny. I was like, this isn't Destiny.
Oh wow! Whoops. The show notes running wild here. So, Bravely Default is coming out in the U.S. February 7th, and we're getting the updated stuff from Bravely Default for the sequel in America, and then a sequel to Bravely Default for the sequel was announced called Bravely Second. And that seems to be mostly the same game, but they added a new, maybe main character. This lady named Magnolia. And that seems to be about all we know right now. So
I just want the game to come out right now.
I just want the game already. I'm so excited for playing what appears to be a spiritual sequel to for Heroes of Light, which was a really great game that I will never finish.
Yep.
So, man, we are 2 months away from getting that, and I need it. Square, make it happen. Square also announced a release date for Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD versions. It's coming out on the PS3 on March 18th in the US. Unfortunately, the Vita still doesn't have a release date, which is kind of weird / kind of concerning. So hopefully that will still come out? Question mark. But at least we're still getting the PS3 version. So.
Yeah, that's a game I really need to come out on the Vita, because any PS2 RPG is going to have some grinding in it, and handheld is best for grinding.
I think did they already say that cross-save is going to work? I feel like they said, and I feel like
That'd
they said
pretty
yes.
sweet.
But
Heck,
I don't
if
remember.
they sold them all to me for like a $70 package, I'd do
go.
that.
There you go, Square.
I might even go as high as 80, but maybe not.
But you got to talk me
Square,
into it.
though.
Yeah, like
so
I
it'll be
need
100.
I need both games, both platforms. Yeah, 100's too high for me.
Yeah. Last news story. Mina is shedding one silent tear over there. Neverland Company files for bankruptcy. This is the company that makes Rune Factory and the Lufia series. Their statement cites recent changes in the business environment as one of the studio's difficulties. And they have been unsuccessful in their attempts to secure funding for future development. I don't understand sort of what happened, but I get the impression Rune Factory 4 didn't do super well. And it seems like they've been having some minor problems up until then that kind of all came to a head at this point. So
After Rune Factory 4, I feel so bad because I really enjoyed that.
Just such a super bummer. Man. Well, let's talk about before we go into tweets and emails here, let's talk about our favorite RPGs of 2013. We're not really going to do like a top 10 list because I forgot about it until today. But there was a surprising amount of really great RPGs that came out in 2013, and I think all three of us kind of forgot until today when we were talking about it how many were really great. So let's just sort of go around the room and talk about maybe one apiece until we're out of games that we really liked. Why don't we start off with you, Mina?
So I guess I'll start out with Rune Factory 4, which would have been basically, if I had to pick an RPG of the year, I would have given it to Rune Factory 4. It had something for everybody, and it had a fighting system that you could pick different weapons, so much dungeon crawling fun, goodness, crafting, farming, whatever you wanted to do or not do. This
Whatever
game
you
had
want,
it. It like levels that went beyond whatever you could imagine, and abilities that you could just boost, and oh man. So that game was if I had to say, to somebody who was just like, I want to learn an RPG, play it, just something that won't force me to, grind or do this or that, I would have said pick up Rune Factory 4. If there's something you don't like about the game, you can just not do it, and you'll have fun. And it would have been a great introductory RPG for somebody.
Still available.
It is still available. Go buy it.
Still plenty of time to get it. Musum, how about you?
I guess I'll start out with the one I played the most, Ni no Kunai.
Yes.
I really like this game, and I have the special edition box set like right next to my TV, like facing me whenever I go to bed every night, so it's like a glaring reminder that I've left it there and not touched it in a long time.
That was a really cool special edition too. They did a really good job on that.
Were you the one who had the problem with getting it, or was it someone else?
I didn't know.
I meant Musum.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's right, because they
You had a nightmare with it, I remember.
Yes, no. Namco Bandai was using some other company who evidently has a reputation for screwing up these pre-order
Digital
things.
River.
Yeah,
Yes.
and what had happened was the card I pre-ordered on it like they, it was like a debit card. So that year it ended, and then I got a new one and forgot to change it.
Right.
And so instead of sending me an email saying, "Hey, just change your number," they sent me an email saying, "We couldn't charge your card, so we canceled your pre-order. Sorry."
Have a good day.
Yeah. So I had to call. It seems like I had to call a couple times before I got through.
You kind of had an ordeal. Now that we're talking about it, I remember you had
Yeah.
quite the ordeal trying to get the thing that you had already paid for.
It was an issue. Like, I was
Yeah.
upset enough where I probably would never have played the game had they not fixed my pre-order and gotten me the Wizard Edition. Because I was like checking eBay for them. I'm like, oh my god,
Hundreds of dollars. Oh
two
my god.
hundred dollars. It was really frustrating.
Oh man.
So they eventually fixed it and got it to me, but it was a week after everyone.
Yeah.
This is not a good year for me in online ordering.
Yeah, you're just not the year of Musum over here.
No.
Yeah, you should finish that game.
You
That
really
game
should.
that game ended really strongly.
And
I felt really good about that.
I remember exactly where I stopped. I fought what was his name? Shade or Genie? The bad guy.
Yeah, that was a
Uh,
fun, weird fight.
I fought
Oh,
I
yeah.
fought some dude on a river, and then I'm on an island. And Boston, you told me it was about to have some really good character development
Yeah.
for Mr. I don't know, the little fairy
Mr.
guy.
Drippy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that part was so
God.
good, and it features my favorite piece of music in that. The Fairy Village is the best piece of music probably this year.
God, I love Mr. Drippy. I forgot about him.
You could, go back,
He had
go
such
play
good
that game, man. Whew. Game was good. Mine probably looking at this giant list here. I'm gonna go with Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen. A game I feel like no one really played the first Dragon's Dogma because it was kind of weird and maybe a little broken. Dark Arisen came out and patched a lot of that stuff and actually put a tutorial in, which is sorely needed. That game for me really kind of came out of left field. I heard a couple people saying, "Yeah, it's pretty good, but it's a Capcom game, so it's a little broken." That game is really good. It reminds me a lot of Skyrim, but sort of the opposite, where Skyrim really, the Elder Scrolls games really focus on story as sort of its primary, and then secondary typically is going to be your battle system. This one focuses a lot more on the battle system. And by and far the best part of the battle system is climbing on enemies and fighting them while you're on them. And I'll never forget climbing on a griffin and then it taking off with me on it and fighting it while I'm flying on this griffin. I was like, well, this is clearly one of the best games ever made by human hands. Really great game. I didn't even touch the DLC stuff, the Dark Arisen stuff. I've never even gotten to that stuff. And the base game by itself, especially if you have friends that have played Dragon's Dogma, so you can bring their... I don't even remember what the pawns.
Their follower pawns.
Yeah, bring their pawns into your world. It's such a great game that has... I will not spoil it for anyone because please go play this. It has such an insane ending to this story that is just so Capcom RPG that it's almost unbelievable. I cannot recommend it enough. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, just wherever you can get it, pick it up. It's super, super great. Mina, how about you for another pick here?
Etrian Odyssey 4, which did a great job of bringing a type of game that a lot of people pass over and just put a nice little polish and bring it more modern for a new set of eyes to come in and enjoy this game.
Yeah.
Especially that map. I was addicted to drawing maps.
Me too, man. I just wanted to find another dungeon and I don't really want to fight anything. I just want to be our cartographer.
So it was a lot of fun. I'm still actually working on my file, but I recommend that one.
Yeah, man, that game is great.
Go to Musum on that.
Yeah, I really liked Etrian Odyssey 2. But I really disliked the food throwing thing in the overmap.
Yeah.
But everything else in the game I thought was freaking awesome. But sorry, I had some weird crisis thing happening. Where are we talking about? Oh yeah, my turn to pick a game.
Yes.
I will go with a game I barely played that, but I suspect is really good. Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner Soul Hackers.
Yes.
Obviously, just because the name's really, really long, and I'm into games with names that are really long. No. But it's just like awesome 90s vision of like future cyberpunk things that are just like, we have this world where everyone's connected and
yeah, this like cool, like what the 90s thought that cyberspace and VR was going to be in like 2013. And it's one of the few SMT, Persona sort of games that we never got here because it came out on the Saturn. And that the Saturn was not a platform in the US. So it was kind of nice to see like the lost game that everyone was always saying, holy crap, I wish you guys could play Soul Hackers because it's just so amazing. And now we have it, yay!
And it seemed like it'd be cool because you do this weird thing where you relive other people's memories to solve puzzles. And that's a neat thing.
I got about an hour into it. Seems really cool.
Yeah.
I promise I'll pop it in. I promise.
One thumb up. I don't know if I can get to the other one. For me, along the same lines, I feel like I have to recommend Shin Megami Tensei 4. Really happy we got this in the US, and really happy it turned out okay on the 3DS. I think everyone was saying like, oh, a mainline SMT game coming on the 3D. This is going to be it was actually really good. Great voice acting, great Persona stuff, really great dungeons, pretty great story. Overall, it was kind of a really solid SMT handheld game, and one I actually finished. And that deserves some sort of recognition for that game, that it allowed me to finish it at some point this year. It's just super great. I feel like not enough people played it, unfortunately.
It's a really good game, and I need to finish playing it too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Mina, how about your next pick?
My next pick.
If you have one.
I do. I'm trying to go through. If I'll just throw this in real quick. If you've never played Earthbound, it came out on the Wii U Virtual Console. It's so good, and just play it.
I think that's a perfectly legitimate choice.
It's a shame because I know that I think it would have been the first time that Europeans would have been able to actually get a legit copy of Earthbound, because it never came out on the SNES.
Or people like me that are bad and never played it.
Yeah, it's great, and I'm really glad that it finally came out, because after so many people signing and so many people saying I'd pay any money that you put on this, they finally just did it. But they put it on the Wii U.
I don't have one of those yet.
Yeah, if you have a Wii U, don't you have a Wii U game but not a Wii U?
I might. If you want to be honest about it, yeah, I might. It's sitting over here somewhere. I have apparently pre-ordered Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, because Wind Waker is one of my favorite Zelda games, not realizing that I would not yet have a Wii U.
I thought that was the case.
Yeah.
I remember you saying it before.
That's something I pretty typically do.
Oh, okay. Musa, you go.
Shadowrun returns for PC. I might be biased since I backed it on Kickstarter, but whatever. It's like $15. Who cares? It's a really good game. It's definitely very low budget, but it has really, really good writing. All the loading screens have this real slick film noir kind of cyberpunk like rant that goes in them that just sets up the scenes really nice. And all the characters feel great and feel like self-involved characters, where they aren't just there to prop up the main character. They have purpose otherwise. Yeah. And they have backstory otherwise. Just a game I can't recommend enough. And hopefully once they add the Save Anywhere feature, everyone will just play it.
Yep.
Definitely. I'm actually going to throw one that's kind of half cheating. But Borderlands 2, even though that came out in 2012, it had a metric ton of DLC that came out this year, and almost all of it was really, really great, especially Tiny Tina's Dragon's Keep. Just really nice to see a company that really loves their game continue to support it for so long. And then now in 2014, assumingly, it's going to be coming out on the Vita, so you can play it pretty much anywhere. If anyone hasn't, and this year the Game of the Year edition came out that has all the DLC in it except for I think some of the costumes or something like that. Really, really great. Highly recommended. If you haven't played Borderlands 2 yet, just pick up the Game of the Year edition and you have hundreds of hours. My girlfriend and I are still playing that game now, and it came out in 2012.
Yeah.
So, super great. Mina, do you have any more?
I do.
Okay.
My last one. Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah.
I had a similar problem to Musim's episode of not being able to get the game that I pre-ordered, where except they just straight up canceled it.
Great.
That was great. But I still got it anyways. Just got it off the eShop. I really like Fire Emblem Awakening because the biggest problem I've always had with the Fire Emblem games is that I don't really like permanent death.
Yeah, that's a real bummer.
I work so hard at like taking care of this character and you know just really nurturing all their abilities and really taking care of them, and then I get into a fight where it's just like there's no way we're all gonna make it out of this alive.
Yeah. One of us is going to have to die.
And I lose that character, and I have to shut the game off and stare at it a bit and just go, I'll come back
I'll come
in a
back
couple
for
of
you.
days.
I promise.
I promise.
I had that same problem with XCOM, where I had this guy whose last name was Papadopoulos. I can't let Papadopoulos die. Every time he would die, I was like, well, I just turn my 360 off. Just turn it back on. I can't. My little buddy, he can get hurt. He can't die.
So that's the biggest reason why I was a big supporter of Fire Emblem Awakening was it could tune itself to being the game that you wanted. You could make it really hard,
Yeah.
but you could remove that permanent death thing, which I was okay with. Or you could, just make it easy so that way you can enjoy the game, and because we're all getting really old and not not really there
I don't have the kind of time for permadeath.
I don't have time for permanent death anymore.
All right, Musim, one more from you.
Okay, real quick aside tangent. I'm going through the PUP website looking for games that might have come out this year that we forgot.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this wonderful entry that may or may not have been a typo on your end, but either way you should leave it because you wrote down The Older Scrolls Oblivion.
That's the version of Oblivion that's really only like 5 hours.
There you go.
Yeah. It's a little bit, got a cane.
I don't have time for this open world.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
It's where you just stay at your house and wait for people to come to you.
I'm leaving that in there.
Let's see. Did you mention? I know we talked a butt ton of Dragon's Crown earlier in the cast. Did you mention it already in this section?
Nope, have not mentioned it yet.
Okay, I'll talk about it too then. Now, I'm nowhere near as far as you because I'm only like 5 or 6 dungeons in. Because I just fought like either the Vampire Lady or the Minotaur. I don't remember which one's later.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that game is it's super good and super detailed, and all the classes are, what's the word besides fleshed out?
They're all unique.
Yeah,
like the warrior and the Amazon are nothing at all alike.
Yeah, like my friend Stretch played the warrior at my house, and I was blown away when he did his shield moves and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were very, like, you'd think, oh, he's just going to stamp his shield in the ground. No, he summons like this sphere thing.
Cool ring of shields to protect the party.
It's freaking awesome, and it's huge, and it's something that's useful. Like, if you read the description, you don't think it's useful. You think, I'm only going to be protected from one direction. Or maybe they do correct it in the description. Maybe I just read the title. But either way.
Yeah.
And like all the characters like that, and there's so much depth to the controls and the inventory system, and it's a game that really, whether you like them or not, I wish they hadn't made those two characters look how they did,
Yeah.
because a lot of people are missing out on it because of them.
Yeah, it's sort of, there's a lot of stuff in that game that I said it on TVGP a couple weeks ago that I really like the art style. I really don't like the art content, and I think there's a lot of stuff in there that makes it really hard for everyone to enjoy it, whether they find it objectionable or if they find it something that they wouldn't want their girlfriend walking in on and being like, "What are you playing? What's happening here?"
Yeah.
It is sort of unfortunate because I feel like there's a really great game in there that some people that wouldn't want to play because they find it objectionable or whatever, or are just so turned off by the content of it, which I think is very absolutely a fine opinion to have, because there is some stuff in there where I'm like, really, guys, it's yeah, come on,
Yeah.
it's 2013. Let's not.
That magic shop owner.
Oh god, yeah, I just
She could have been toned down a bit.
I don't want to go repair my equipment because it's,
You know,
it's really just very bad.
if it wasn't a stagnant image that they rippled to make move, it would have saved it a little bit more.
Yeah, a real missed opportunity, and I think really something that hurts the game more than it really helps. And it's unfortunate because Vanillaware makes these beautiful, flowy games typically. Like, look at Odin Sphere. Never really had any of these problems, but I don't know what happened on this game. They just went all the way weird.
Yeah.
So, we only have a couple more games on our list here that we were talking about at the beginning, so we'll just sort of bang through these really quickly. Etrian Odyssey Untold Girl something? I don't remember. That was, I think we all kind of agreed, came out this year and was really great, but story isn't really what we're looking for in Etrian Odyssey. So I know there was a sort of a classic mode in there, but not. I started on story, and maybe that was a mistake.
Probably.
We talked about Guided Fate Paradox earlier today. Came out this year and went largely overlooked, unfortunately. And none of us mentioned Diablo 3. That came out on consoles this year. 360 and PS3. Those versions have quickly become my default answer for where should I play Diablo 3. If you have a 360 or a PS3, you should play that version. That version's really good. When the PS4 version comes out, the frame rate will probably be smoothed out a little bit, so that will be my new recommendation. And when that comes out, I'm buying a copy for me and a copy for my girlfriend, and we are going to play that a bunch. And that's kind of all the RPGs that we could think of that were kind of notable. Whoop, Mina's got another one.
Just so that way, but if my friends come back, they're going to be like, how come you didn't say Pokemon?
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Like, X and Y came out this year. Yeah.
It came out, and it's good.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon game and it's good. So, but you guys
It's
already
on my
know that.
Christmas list. I've never played a Pokemon game, and I'd kind of like to play this
There you
one.
go. X and Y seems like a good place to start.
It is actually a really good one to hop in on. It has a lot going for it. So
let's move into our last bits here. Let's talk about our emails. I think we only have one. Mina sent this over from Nuke Classic. How do you feel about genre combinations that RPGs seem to be catching onto? Did we talk about this last month?
no, it was
Okay.
because it was like his last question, but we had already ended the segment.
Okay.
So
He says, like the FPS RPGs and the more action-leaning Final Fantasies are Dark Souls games. Do you think that those cross-genre titles are the natural progression of role players, or do you think they'll be moving more in directions we haven't seen yet? I get the impression that a lot of times, if you look at something like Borderlands 2, that's very much an FPS RPG. And I think for a lot of companies, it seems like it's really an easy way to keep your players engaged and keep them from feeling a real sense of progress while they're playing the game. Like, if you imagine Borderlands 2 without the quests and loot system and RPG elements and all that, you just kind of have a first-person shooter that you finish once and then, okay, I'm done with that. But if you can add some light, or in this case, kind of heavy RPG elements, you maybe keep people playing it for longer and keep them a little bit more engaged in your game throughout the entire, gameplay of what you've made, I guess. What do you think, Mina?
For me, I think a lot of people have genres that they stick to, which are like I have a friend who plays nothing but shooters. So it's really nice to have a game like example being Borderlands, a game where an RPG person who's more like myself and a shooter friend can both meet on a common ground and have fun together.
Oh, right.
I really like that sort of thing, and I do support that sort of cross playing around with different genres because it does seem to bring a little more harmony amongst me and my friends.
Well, you can also drive people that maybe only love FPSs. Well, they'll be like, "Oh, this is kind of cool, all this leveling and skills and stuff," and you're like, "Yes, now's my chance. All right, let's play Diablo 3."
What about you, Musim?
I think there's okay. Full disclosure, I totally was reading about PAR being shut down.
Oh, yes.
No.
So the question is cross-playing genres, right?
Yeah.
Whether
Pretty
we
much,
like
yeah.
them or not.
You got your RPG in my other games.
Yeah. I like it. I think I think it's good to keep your genre, but I think also mix and matching will benefit both genres. I think you've seen that in the Call of Duty multiplayer stuff, which very much has an RPG carrot on the stick aspect to it. And obviously, like for me, with my Elder Scrolls games and Mass Effect, and like those are all very much mixed genre styles that wouldn't exist without that. But at the same time, I still love my hardcore RPGs like the original Bard's Tale and like the Shin Megami Tensei games. And really, we wouldn't have Persona 4 if Japan didn't say, "Hey, let's combine our dating sim with our dungeon crawler."
Yeah, let's combine our life sims with with our RPGs.
Yeah, it's man.
That's a good point.
There's so much goodness to come out of this, and like you could even argue like Ni no Kunai is a animated movie feature saying, "Hey, let's combine our animated movies with an old school RPG style."
That's true.
I think there's a lot of good to come out, and I think we're seeing it in a lot of platforms. There probably is a little bit of sadness in it, in that the traditional RPG is becoming less and less prevalent. But I also think that just means every couple years we're going to get an extremely good one that is going to innovate like nothing before, because it's gone to all these other ideas too.
Right. Yeah, so it sounds like we all kind of agree. Our chocolate and our peanut butter is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the emails and tweets and everything we have for this month. If you'd like to visit at the website, you can do so at pickingupthepixels.com. Email us at fans@pickingupthepixels.com. On Twitter, we are on pickingupPixels. And visit the brand new E1M1 website at e1m1.com. Not only do you have all the links and everything for all three of the shows that I do, but you also have links for all of this stuff ongoing for the entire network, like Twitch and a combined RSS feed and all things like that. Don't forget to listen to Musim's...
Oh god, I was saying Kunai, wasn't I?
Well, that's okay.
My bad.
Don't forget to listen to Musim's show, The Carousel Podcast, at thecarouselpodcast.com. And if you like his music in the show, go buy some. It's very good and very reasonably priced at listentomusim.com or musim.bandcamp.com. And don't forget to watch Mina's Dark Souls live streaming, because it's a really good time, over at twitch.tv/Minako Rocket, Minako Rocket?
Yep.
Whew. All right. And that's all we got for this month.
No, wait, you're TVGP.
Oh, right, my shows. Don't forget to listen to That Video Game Podcast, tvgp.tv. Very, very soon, we're going to be coming out with our top 10 and our for 2013 and our 2014 predictions, which is basically my favorite 2 episodes of the year. And don't forget to listen to Dynamic Soundtrack, dynamicsoundtrack.com. If you love video game music, as I do, check that out. There's like 38 episodes out there or something like that. And I think that's it this time. Right? Did I miss
That's
anything?
it. Make
Okay.
sure you post on the forums, you guys.
Yes,
We
please.
love reading.
Yeah, please post on the forums. We love interacting with all you ladies and gents listening to the show. So post it on over there. It should be tvgp.tv, and there's actually all of the websites should have a forum link on the right hand side. And that's all we got. So thank you very much, Musim and Mina, for joining me again.
Mm-hmm.
Pleasure as always.
And we'll see you again next month. Yay! Boy, that was a long episode, man.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us in the live stream again. I'm sorry Twitch chat is being dumb. I really wish that there was something I could do about that. Stick around. Keep an eye later. I'm going to be recording a brand new Dynamic Soundtrack episode later today. I'm going to take a quick break to give my voice a little bit of a rest here. And then I will come back with watching me record and edit Dynamic Soundtrack live. You get to see my crazy Adobe Audition screen as I do the black magic I do to make each show, and maybe edit this show. Who knows? Thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you next month. Bye.